So as we all know, you just can't get as much for your money as what you used to be able to. And that really comes into play when it comes into the biking industry. It's super hard to find a high quality bike for under $2,000. And as you guys know, on this channel, I really like to focus on the budget category because I feel like that's a more realistic range for the average person. And a few months ago, I received the Marin Rift Zone 1 to do a review on, and I absolutely love that bike. But some of you asked, why don't you do a review on the Polygon T7? Because it falls right in that same price range as the Marin Rift Zone 1. So that's what we're gonna do today, and this is gonna be a 3-part series comparing the Polygon T7 to the Marin Rift Zone 1. So in this first episode, it's all about the Polygon T7. We're gonna unbox this and take a look at what this bike comes with. So let's not wait anymore and let's go ahead and get the unboxing started. Now this episode is brought to you by bikesonine. They sent me this Polygon T7 to do this comparison with the Marin Rift Zone. Now if you're not familiar with bikesonine, they have been in business for over a decade, and they are the exclusive dealer of Polygon bikes. And they also have a huge selection of Marin bikes you can choose from. If you guys decide to purchase a bike from bikesonine, I would appreciate it if you used my links below. There's no additional cost to you, and it comes back and helps out this channel. Now, whenever you order a bike from bikesonine, these bikes come about 90% put together. The only thing that you're gonna have to do before you can get out and shred the trails is put on the front wheel, your stem, your handlebars, and maybe the seat post, depending on if it's not pre-installed already. bikesonine makes this process super easy so you can get out on the trails sooner than later. All right, now that we got the Polygon T7 put together and it's ready to go shred the trails, let's stop here for a minute and take a look at all the components that comes on this bike and see what you're actually gonna get for only $17.99. Now let's start with the cockpit. This is where all of your controls are gonna be up front, so you're gonna want something that's gonna be really nice and comfortable. They put nice 780 millimeter wide bars, which is my favorite length of handlebars. On there, you are gonna get some Polygon lock-on grips. These are really nice and comfortable grips, and I love the fact that they're actually lock-on. And on the right side of the bars, you're gonna get a Shimano Dior 6100 12-speed shifter. Now the 12-speed Shimano setup is really unheard of on a sub $2,000 bike. Now I really do appreciate that Polygon took the extra step and put a 12-speed drivetrain on this bike, because that's something that they didn't have to do at this price point. Now they put some very unique brakes on this bike. These are the Tektro 4+2 Orion P brakes. So what does the 4+2 mean on the Tektro brakes? That means that there's gonna be a 2-piston setup in the back, and then there's gonna be a 4-piston setup up front. This is a really cool setup because with the 4-piston up front and the 2-piston in the back, you're gonna get quality braking on this bike. And it comes in at that budget price still. And on the left-hand side of the handlebars, you are gonna see a dropper post lever. We're gonna get into the details of this dropper post later, but it is nice to see at $17.99 that you're gonna get a dropper post pre-installed. And then the last thing about the cockpit is that it comes with a 35 millimeter stem. And that 35 millimeter stem is attached to a massive RockShox Recon Silver RL, and that's 140 millimeters of travel, and it's got 32 millimeter stanchions. And not to mention, this fork has boost spacing and a through axle. The one thing that's nice about the Recons is that they are affordable, but they give you a really supple ride. These forks may be a little bit heavier than some of the high-end versions of what RockShox comes out with, but they don't lack performance at all. And since we're looking at the front suspension, let's go ahead and take a look at the rear suspension. Now the Deluxe Select Plus comes with RockShox Debon Air setup in it. That is a 2-piston compression. Now this thing is gonna have a total of 135 millimeters of travel. So with 140 millimeters of travel up front and 135 in the back, I would say the Polygon T7 falls perfectly within the trail segment of mountain biking. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at the rest of the drivetrain that comes on this bike. Polygon didn't disappoint, and they put a full Shimano drivetrain on here, which is really awesome to see. Let's go ahead and start with the Shimano crankset that comes with 170 millimeter crank arms and a 32 tooth chainring. Then if we go ahead and take a look at the back of the drivetrain, this comes with an 11 to 52 tooth cassette. And then to shift through all those gears, it comes with a Dior 6100 rear derailleur, and it's got a clutch built in. So far, this bike looks really stacked with components. I'm really worried that the Marin is gonna have a hard time competing with this Polygon T7. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below which one you think is gonna win this battle overall. But let's not stop there, let's take a look at the rims. This comes with tubeless ready rims, and it comes with 35mm internal width rims. That's enduro level width. So this is a very unique bike that's ready for some super wide tires. In fact, this comes with some Schwalbe Hand Stamp F tires that are 2.6 inches wide. That's a whole 0.3 wider than the ones that come on the Marin. This thing is gonna be super grippy on the trail. And of course, I saved what I think is the best for last, and that is the fact that this comes with a dropper post. On the size large, it comes with a 170mm Trans-X dropper post. This is something that you don't really see all that much on a sub $2,000 bike, and I'm really stoked that Polygon actually added it to this T7. Now, while it's really cool that this comes with a dropper post from Trans-X, I do have to say, one thing that I was kind of disappointed with, I cannot stand these dropper post levers that I see coming on a lot of different bikes. This is a really generic dropper post lever. There's no bearing built inside, so it's not a real smooth action. I would highly recommend the very first upgrade that you do to this bike is buy yourself a P&W lever. They do cost about 50 bucks. That seems like a lot for a dropper post lever, but it will make the action of the dropper post super buttery smooth. So the Polygon T7 is looking primed for the trail. And I can't believe that you can get all these components and this type of bike for under $2,000. Now, I was able to take this bike on my backyard trail and I absolutely loved the way it felt. But before I could get it out on my local trails, I noticed a small flaw in the frame. So I reached out to Bikes Online, showed them what I found, and they contacted Polygon. And Polygon agreed this bike does need to be warrantied. They're gonna be sending me a brand new frame, and then I'm gonna be able to put all the parts back on it and get this bike out on my local trails. I just wanted to let you guys know exactly what was going on with that, because in the bike manufacturing process, sometimes things can happen. So as I wait for my new frame to come in, I want to give you my initial thoughts of the T7. Now, riding this on my backyard trail, I felt like this bike was super smooth and solid. And the tires on this bike gave some confidence-inspiring grip, and that geometry felt just as good as any other modern trail bike that I've ridden lately. So in the next episode, I should have the replacement frame for the Polygon, and we'll be able to do a real comparison between the Rift Zone and the T7. And hopefully by the end of this series, you'll be able to pick out which bike is gonna be best for you. And if you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, let me know what you think of the Polygon T7. And if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss the rest in this video series. And if you could, use my links below if you decide to purchase a bike from Bikes Online. I would greatly appreciate that. But as always, we'll see you guys in the next one.